Hey guys, Godzilla McCollum 2000 here. Okay, first off, I want to say I'm going to be reading both entries of Entropy here. I don't know why, and I don't know what possessed me to, but we are going to be watching both. I'm going to be reading both entries of Entropy because it only makes sense because it saves on chapters. And I will also be reading both entries of chapter 8, which is finale. Yeah, so that's gonna be why this is gonna be a shorter read through, and then I will be reading the Godzilla replay. But I'm gonna wait on that until the full story is fucking done. I mean, it's only on what, chapter 6? Chapter 6, part 1. So yeah. Let me just pull up chat on the TV. Chat is active, so how's everybody doing today? That's what I want to know. How is everyone doing today? In the original game, the sixth world was Pluto. Ironically, despite being the smallest planet, Pluto was the largest and most diverse world in the game. Entropy had a different layout, but it was similarly huge and diverse. The board music was played by a violin instrument, a melody that started out sounding mournful and then it gets rather, I guess I would call it distorted. It made me feel depressed and unnerved. Not something I would want to hear while trying to sleep. Sorry, Ninja Nia official. Strangely, none of the levels from the previous world were present here. Instead, there were 8 brand new icons. The bosses this time were Megalon, Batra, and Mechagodzilla. As usual, the first thing I did was go to the quiz level for another interrogation from Face. But I would, bleh. But I, wait a minute. I was reading that correct, but when I got there, I noticed something different. Instead of the usual goofy Ghidorah music, it was the password theme. The music change seemed to be intentional, because after the first 2 questions at the start, the quiz started to take on a darker tone. Do you like ice cream? Yes. Do you like clowns? Yes. No. Is time slipping through your fingers? Yes. Well, Gigan was in the last, Gigan's not Gigan was in the last world. Do you have any regrets? Yes. Do some people deserve to die? No. No. In real life, no. Nobody deserves to die on purpose. I know y'all are seeing these damn questions. Fucking spam callers. Sorry about that, guys. These spam calls, I swear. But yeah, I'll move the questions down so that way y'all can see them. Is it safe to go out at night? Yes. Maybe, depending on if you're going out for yourself or if you're going out with a friend or relative. I mean, not relative, but boyfriend or girlfriend. Do you find it hard to sleep at night? Yes. Sometimes if you're having a bad dream. Have you ever killed anyone? No. Are you actually Are you actually accomplishing anything? No. Yes, I'm accomplishing my dream of being a YouTuber. Does life have any real meaning? No. Yes, life has real meaning. I don't know why Zach said no, but that's stupid. Life has meaning. If life didn't have meaning, we would not exist in this world. Do you like Mothra? No. I knew that last one was going to be gameplay related question, but I had no idea what the result would be. I answered honestly because, as I said before, I never liked Mothra. Nobody liked playing as Mothra in this game. And there was one good reason for that. Every other time Mothra gets hit, she gets slammed back to the left corner of the screen. And she sucks at fighting because her attacks are so weak. The only benefit Mothra had was being able to fly over obstacles in some levels. So I answered no. And Face actually replied back to me, not only with a maniacal expression, but with the text, "Too bad." Fuck you, Face. When I was taken back to the map screen, and I was shocked to see that Godzilla and Angus had disappeared from the board, leaving only Mothra. Face had just fucked me over. Needless to say, I was pissed. But there wasn't anything I could do, and I'm willing to bet even if I had said yes, I would have been stuck with Mothra anyway. Face giveth, and face taketh away. Going Shakespeare on us, are we? I took a deep breath and got ready to explore. There were two paths I could take through the board. I decided to take the lower one. This turned out to be a good choice for reasons I'll get to momentarily. The first world ahead of me was a forest, so I started there. Almost immediately, I got an eerie feeling. There was something about this level that just seemed off to me. Even more than the previous ones, perhaps it was the pitch black background. I've been afraid of being in the forest at night. Something about all those trees makes me feel surrounded and vulnerable. And the fact that I was stuck as Mothra didn't help. Playing the game's previous worlds as Godzilla gave me a feeling of bravery, being in control of the king of the monsters. I'd be able to handle just about anything in my way. But it's not like that with Mothra. No feeling of strength or security. Now I'm just a weak, easily overwhelmed bug traversing into the unknown. Back to the level. The music had new instruments, sounding like woodwinds, followed by slow rhythmic drums and chiming bells. Gave me this feeling that I was intruding into some dangerous place I really should not be. After a while, I encountered the first enemies of the stage, or at least I assumed they were enemies. They were strange, long-legged deer-like creatures. Instead of attacking, they were just idly walking around. When I approached them, I went to approach them, and they ran away. Too bad I'm not downloading all the screenshots. I would love to see Zilla in this. I was about to shoot I thought about shooting I thought about shooting one with an eye beam to see what would happen, but it seemed wrong. These creatures were harmless, so I passed over them and continued through the level. About halfway through, I encountered groups of deer-like animals, and also two new creatures. A sloth-like creature with a beak climbing a tree, and a hairy raptor-esque beast that were preying on deer. It was very surreal watching these creatures interact. I don't feel like I was playing a video game, but rather that I was traveling through a forest in some other dimension. The creatures ignore me for the most part, although the raptors did attack me when I got too close or if I attacked them first. I know I shot one of them to help one of the deer creatures escape. I got clawed at, but confrontation was easily avoided by flying up to the top of the screen. These are the raptors that Zach is talking about. After that, I had to choose whether I wanted to play the levels with the hourglass or the television screen. I picked the latter. What I got was not at all what I was expecting. The animation moves! I finally get some fucking... Guys, I finally get some animation that moves. I feel like I had that shirt at one point in my life. When I pressed... Hate notifications, I really do. When I press the button to start a level on the TV screen, like I normally would, this screen with an animation popped up. There was also music in the background, which was the goofy Ghidorah music that would be playing in the quiz levels. I was somewhat unsettled by this. It was just so strange. I also found it a bit spooky because I had a shirt that looked just like that back when I was a kid. After starting the animation, you could go back to the board by pressing any button. After that, I had no idea what to expect from the rest of these icons. I went to try an hourglass icon next. I was somewhat relieved when an actual level came up. It was certainly an unorthodox looking level, all brown with time measuring instruments floating in the air and gigantic grandfather clocks in the background. The music was the same as the board screen. And very early in the level, I encountered something else I didn't expect to see. Original enemies from the game. Wow, you got two Super X machines, jets, tanks, missile launchers. I don't know what that blue one is. I do not know. I don't know. And not just that, it seemed to be a whole fleet of them. And the yellow tanks, which were normally immobile, could now move. I took some damage, but it was nothing I couldn't handle. But the most interesting thing about this level was the colored hourglass items. There were three of these. A blue hourglass that made time slow down and filled the level with enemies from the past. A red hourglass that made time speed up and fill the level with enemies from the future. A green hourglass that set time to the normal speed and fill the level with enemy. Fill the level with the original game enemies. God, why am I stuttering so fucking bad? Like, I never stutter this bad when I read. Why the fuck am I stuttering so fucking badly? And yes, I'm drinking coffee. No, I'm not trying to stutter when I read this story. Why is it happening to me? Has anyone else noticed that these Godzilla NES Creepypasta reads are getting more views than Dragon Ball? Oh my god. I encountered the blue hourglass first. As stated, the game started to slow down and I saw the enemies from the past, which were 5 different types of prehistoric animals. I don't know much about prehistory, but I believe all of these enemies were represent real animals. The level went into another segment. I encountered the green hourglass and then I fought the original enemies again. It was the same 5 types. So I didn't take a screenshot. But in the last segment, I encountered the red hourglass and the enemies that must have been, and the enemies that must have been from the future. Now, whether or not the game was showing me 8-bit renditions of creatures that will actually exist thousands of years into Earth's future, I have no idea. But with that thought in mind, I found this particular segment to be very eerie. And it was made more tense because everything moved faster. Ugh. That's weird. Oh yeah, guys, I plan on getting Mario Party Superstars and Lego Star Wars Skywalker, the Skywalker Saga Galactic Edition, and the reason how I'm gonna get Mario Party Superstars and the other Mario game, Super Smash Bros. Game, is by using the $100 that I'm getting to get the Nintendo game voucher tickets. That means I can get those two games for free. But I have to pay $100 for the Nintendo Switch game vouchers, but you gotta be a Nintendo member. You gotta be a Nintendo Switch member, online member, to get those. And Jason Blum tweeted. Whoop, 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 whoop. One of the future enemies bore a striking resemblance to something I saw in a book once called Trudon Man. Another looked like some kind of organic spaceship. There was only one of the fifth type of future creature, and when it appeared, all the others ran for their lives, leaving me alone to battle. Bro, this fucking glitching I'm not liking. Ah! It could fly, but its sprite didn't actually move, and its single attack was firing a lightning bolt from its face. So even so, it was surprisingly powerful, and I suppose it could have been considered a mini-boss. After PlayStation, stop! After defeating it, it left a health power-up that restored the health and energy I had lost fighting it, which was convenient, it seemed. It seemed I would need all the help I could get to beat this world with Mothra alone. After that previous stage I call Time Warp, oh my fucking god, Star Wars Theory, stop! The next stage appeared to be a toxic waste dump. This looks like something that Earth would be. I'm not fucking kidding, everybody. This looks like something that Earth would have been. Watch Mojo, quit it! I'm getting notifications left and right. As you can see, the place looked grungy and inhospitable. The music was a short looping of an ambient synthesizer song. Listening to it made me feel like I had sniffed some toxic fumes myself. Like, yeah, man, we going old school, homie. What the fuck? And it was messy the whole time. I even felt like I was choking while playing this level. The enemies all seem to be mutated to some degree. In the above screenshot, you can see green mummies with bird skulls that jump out of the waist to spit projectiles. They're also a brownish cow skeleton monster with spider legs. Y'all want to see what it's talking about? Here you go. This game is getting unsettling. Halfway through the level, I even saw one of the deer from the forest. It was alone. And when I saw it, it was drinking toxic waste out of a barrel like an anteater with an anteater like tongue. I was moving over to try to make it stop, but then this flock of skull birds came out of nowhere and started attacking. The deer was scared by this and ended up running off the ground into the toxic waste. I feel bad for it. One of the birds bit me, but I regained health quick from killing all of them. They were rather weak. I pressed onward. Of all the levels in Entropy, this was probably the most normal in that there was little deviance from the move forward, smash things formula in the original game. I encountered more creatures through the level, like tentacled blobs, and some kind of deformed thing with human-like teeth. I didn't feel like provoking them into a fight, so I kept on flying near the top of the screen. I still had to deal with the occasional flock of birds now and then. Oh, that's scary. At the end of the level was a large bluish-green lake, and there I encountered another mini-boss, some kind of a monster with a long neck and a whale skull. It attacks with a mouth projectile and by charging into you. It could also go underneath the water and rapidly emerge from a different place. It was harder to beat than the boss from the Time Warp. And it had a lot of health because it must have taken me 3 minutes to defeat it. It let out a really loud noise when it died, and then sank back into the water as I left the screen. Back to the board, I went to the nearest level icon I hadn't seen yet. It was a white tree. as I guessed, the level was a winter-themed recolor of the forest stage. But unlike the regular forest, I didn't feel unnerved starting this one. I think the music had a lot to do with it. It was a gentle, calm song. It almost sounded romantic. Okay, so this one is where I need to play the Godzilla vs. Biollante music. Give me a second, guys. I really wish Godzilla vs. Biollante would be made again. No. Hold up. Give me a second, guys. And we're back. It almost sounded romantic. It was quite stress relieving, and the forest itself looked much less ominous, covered in snow. I traveled through the first segment. Enjoying the atmosphere for 4 minutes, when suddenly I realized something. I haven't seen a single creature since I started the level. Where are all the animals? Soon after I left the screen, and the next segment started. In the second segment, I was still in the winter forest, but now the music was gone. I was starting to feel suspicious, but then I reminded myself that there were only empty levels there were other empty levels in the game, and this was likely another one of those. But then I heard something familiar. A 12-second loop from Unforgiving Cold started up. God damn it! I just took my fucking time trying to find this melody, and you guys fucking... Oh my god. Fuck! Unforgiving Cold, Godzilla, NES Creepypasta. Unforgiving. Unforgiving Cold, Godzilla. But then I heard something familiar. It was a 12-second loop it was a 12-second looping music from Unforgiving Cold starting up. I could feel my heart sink as I came across this horrible sight. It was a whole group of dead deer creatures covered in snow. Judging from the blackish blue tone of their skin, they must have all frozen to death. On closer inspection, some were missing body parts. Now I was frightened, but I still had to keep going. I swear to God, I hope I don't get copyright claim for this because I need to have the music in this. Like, I was hesitant at first, but when and I've heard other people put that Erica and Biollante theme in their videos, so you know what? I am fucking doing it too. I mean, it fits the tone with the story. It fits the tone of the fucking story, guys. Tell me I'm not wrong. Tell me I am not fucking wrong. Tell me I am not fucking wrong. Tell me I'm not in the wrong here. Before exiting the level, I was really hoping to see something resembling the previous forest animals in a living state. And sure enough, I did. It was a creature much like the beaked sloth, except this thing had white fur and was more of a beaked gorilla. It was walking very slowly when I saw it, but I was happy to at least see something alive. However, it didn't stay that way for long. What do you mean you ain't Ninja Nia official? What do you mean by that? You mean I ain't wrong about how other people put the Erica and Biollante theme in their videos? I ain't wrong about that? And yes, I did put Unforgiving Cold's music in here. It belongs in the story. Damn, how long I've been recording for 38 minutes. And just imagine doubling that. God, I almost want to throw up my breakfast. A pack of raptors, who must have sensed that something else was still alive, came rushing in from the right side of the screen. The beaked gorilla didn't stand a chance as one of the raptors immediately lunged at it and ripped open its back legs. These winter raptors acted far different from their temperate relatives. While the other raptors only attacked while hunting prey or when provoked, the winter raptors seemed to have all gone insane. They attacked everything in sight. One was running back and forth, clawing at nothing. Even the noises they made sounded different, more high-pitched and enraged. One literally has no eye. They're literally fighting to the damn death. As I left this second segment, I even saw two raptors fighting to the death. They were both covered in injuries, and one of the raptors had even been blinded in one eye. I took a screenshot, but I didn't want to stay to see who won the fight. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do a two-parter. I don't think I can handle Entropy in one video. I really don't think I can do Entropy in one video. No. If I know what's about to fucking happen, then I fucking am gonna stop and do a two-parter. I think I know what's about to happen. I'm not shaking as much as I was early in the story, but my heart's beating. My heart's beating like a motherfucker. Man, if y'all could hear my fucking heart right now. It's right here. If y'all could hear it, it's like this. I'll make part 2 of the incident with last night when Gigan violated Zilla last night. I can't. No, just imagine that you guys could hear my heart like this. Oh, come on! Fuck you, story! Are you fucking serious? I gotta look that damn melody up again? I just got off of it! I looked a little below the story, guys. It's saying a part about the melody from Winter Force Part 1 pops up. Stop! Stay right there. I only had to get through one more segment before I could go back to the board screen. But in this segment, I was no longer in the Winter Force, but instead a very empty grassy plain with a bright gray moon in the sky. The pleasant music of Winter Forest Part 1 had returned! And immediately I started to feel dread. This is going to sound crazy, but it's the absolute truth. The game made this level from one of my memories. After a long stretch of nothing, I reached a lake, and then the moon moved down from the sky and began to hatch like an egg. When it did, a curled up humanoid figure fell into the lake as the moon halves quickly disintegrated. I heard a splash when it hit the water, then a moment of silence. Then the screen began to shake and a new creature emerged from the water. Oh boy, here's the shit with Melissa. Fuck this mess. If you make me pull up this music cue again, I'm fucking gonna lose it. And thus, I was introduced to a monster I call the Moon Beast. This was the only screenshot I took as I was focusing all my concentration on winning the fight. Okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna pull up my stream and go back to it. Give me a second, guys. And it was the most difficult fight yet, stronger than any of the previous bosses. This creature would have been hard to take down even with Godzilla, and with Mothra, it seemed nearly impossible. I suppose I should consider myself fortunate that the beast lacked any attacks like Gigan saw, because if it had, I would never have won this. I barely had 3 bars of health when I finally killed this abomination. But what happened afterwards is hardly what I would call a reward. I've been trying to keep my promise and suppress this memory for years, but it seems as if I have to get it off my chest. This is a very painful memory. You know what? No. Stop. I'm gonna read this, but I'm gonna have that fucking Erica music play. Because I actually wanted to feel like I actually did have this trauma. Okay, guys? Don't blame me. Erica. Theme. Erica theme. Great! I gotta type in Biollante. Biollante Erica theme. Wait a minute. I should literally have. I don't know if I should. Should I do the... I've done the Erica and Biollante theme twice already. But I haven't done the Godzilla vs. Biollante flower scene. But that's not part of the story here. You know, I'm going to do the Biollante and Erica theme. This is a very painful memory for me, but the game already knows about it, and I think you should too. I'll just tell you the important parts because I don't like bringing this experience back into my head unless I have to. Back when I was in middle school, I had a girlfriend named Melissa. She suffered from some kind of mental disorder that caused her to go into episodes. When she was in an episode, she would stand or sit perfectly straight and still, and her face would instantly lose any expressions she had before. She would speak very clearly without any hint of emotion, and when it was over, she would start trembling and sometimes bury her face in her hands and remain silent for several minutes. I can't really convey the feeling it gave me in words, and I won't try. You had to see this in person. But despite this, she was a very kind person, and I cared about her dearly. We liked to hang out in a field at night and looked at the stars, but one night, she didn't say anything to me at all. She just stared directly at the moon, trembling. I tried to talk to her, but she suddenly sprung up and ran right into traffic. I tried to stop her. No, go back. I tried to stop her, but I was too late. She got hit by a truck and was killed that night. I looked her right in the eyes when the wheels went over her neck. That sight has always haunted me. I know the game knows about this because Because after I defeated the Moonbeast, this happened. Melissa, kill yourself. Whole bunch of kills, then red space started showing up. Okay, so how far are we into this? 50 minutes. I think that's a good stopping point. Don't y'all think? Okay, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Part 2 may be coming in a few minutes. Let me just get my time to relax and cool down because I just saw red space when Anyway, just thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys want to join this channel, go ahead. It's free. It's free. If you like Godzilla, this is the channel for you. If you like hearing me read the creepypasta, join the channel. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. Like, nobody's forcing you, but just to let y'all know, this channel is free and I have no regrets. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get back to the video. In 5 minutes. Bye.